Yeah. So error handler contains error handler scopes, and each scope is configured to handle some kind of error. So up to this point we discussed. Now, right now, today completely focus on the practical implementation of the use cases of error handling. Okay. So let me open AnyPoint Studio and let me create some project on this. Hmm. First is we start with the flow scope error handling, and next we see about application scope and the processor scope. Okay.
Mhm.
So the flow scope is quite, from the day one onwards, we're saying that the flow contains three components majorly: a event source, event processor, this event source section, event processors, and error handling section.
Mhm.
So, right, when I configure this event source and default 8081 and path as a root path, and if I configure any, I configure some kind of HTTP request. So this request, I'm intentionally configuring some weird website, like 456 hji.com. So I'm sure this domain will not be present. Okay, I'm configuring some weird host, and path has XYZ. So I'm configuring something like this kind of URL. I'm trying to call this URL 456hga.com. So definitely I will get error because this is not an valid URL, right? It seems like this valid URL. So definitely get an error, right? Okay. So if you get error, what happens? If you don't do error handling, and what happens? If you do error handling, what happens? That thing we discuss now. Okay. Right now I'm not configuring any error handling. Okay. I'm just configured this request component, right? Let me run this one. Sorry. So it's deployed. So let me run this listener. Uh, Come to Postman. The Postman come this one. So now HTTP localhost colon 8080 slash. I'm configuring it localhost 8080 only, right? I'm not configuring any path, so that I'm hitting this listener. So if I hit this endpoint, Now, 8081, I think. Yeah, it not 8081. See, I got some error. HTTP, this one could not resolve this address, right? So some default thing I get. Some error, I got some error. The status is 500 server error. So you need to understand about HTTP status codes. Go to Google and, type out, type out about HTTP status codes. You will get the HTTP status codes. Means what are success codes, what are service client errors, server errors, and what are the actual success codes. These are all things you can come to know in HTTP status codes. Try to type in the Google HTTP status codes. Okay, you find all status code information. Now 500 means the server error, means server is not able to process the request. What you are sending this request from the client.
What is HTTP status?
Codes, CODES.
Codes.
Yeah, codes.
Okay.
Okay, you will get different kinds of codes, and each code represents some kind of error or some kind of information. Okay, success or failure or say client errors or error. In this case, the client is sending the information. There is no client is sending invoking the URL properly, but the server is not able to process your request. So it's 500 server error. Okay, now if you see here, we are not logging the information, means we are not doing the proper information logging, so that we are not able to find the exact root cause, and error is HTTP connectivity error, right? Okay, now let me configure one error handler. Now I configure something called on error continue. Now try to observe the difference between handling error and without handling error. Okay, on error continue, and I'm configuring some log statement. And I'm setting up some response, so you can set payload. In the logger, I'm writing this something like this one. I'm setting some text. So what happens if error occurs over here? The control comes to over here, right? This is flow scope error handler. The control comes over here, and the logger got executed and set payload got executed. Okay. Now saying this thing, and let me see it's deployed or not. Now got deployed. Now let me hit this one. So if I get some response error occurred while invoking the URL, and the status is 200 OK, means it's success response. Okay. At the same time, if you observe how we are getting this this response is in the set payload, I'm setting this response. Error occurred while invoking the URL. The same response, whatever you set in the set payload, that has returned to the client, right? Okay. Now, how this happens, you need to understand when error occurs in the flow, right? When error occurs in the flow, the error creates an error object. The first step is whenever an error occurs in the flow, it creates an what? Creates an error object, right? So the same thing in this example, in this flow, after receiving the request, I'm invoking some HTTP request component, right? This HTTP request component I configure to call a service running at 456ijh.com. So this site is not present. Actually, this service is not present. So when trying to connect to this service, we get HTTP connectivity error. Whenever error got created, what happens? Creates an error object. It creates what? It creates an error object and throws that error object to the error handler. It creates an error object and throws to the error handler. In error handler, there are multiple error handler scopes. As of now, in this example, I'm configuring only one scope. There are multiple error handler scopes. Each scope is configured to handle some error. Okay, configured to handle some error. So when it creates an error object and throws to the handler, it checks, is this error handler scope is capable of handling this error or not. If it is capable, the things you configured over here got executed. If it is not capable, it is checks is any other error handler is there capable of handling that one. If nothing is capable, a default error got raised. Okay, that is a different story. We'll see that one. Well, nothing, no handling scope is there. What happens? That is second story. First, you try to understand whenever an error occurs in the flow, an error object got created. This is the important thing. Error object got created, and that error object is thrown to your error handler. In error handler is a container of error handler scopes. Maybe one of the scope is capable of handling this thrown error, right? If that is capable, it matches, it got executed. If not matches, it's into the next error handler scope. Okay, then you have to understand what is the error object. What is error object? Okay, guys. Any questions so far? Are able to following? Or it's like Greek and Latin?
No. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So now here we are getting some error object got created, right? Then understand what kind of error object is got created. Is there file error object got created? Or is there database error object got created? Or is there HTTP error object got created? What kind of error object got created, boss? In this example, what kind of operation we are doing? We are doing HTTP operation. So we get HTTP kind of error object, right? So this error object contains two parts. First part is called namespace part. And second part is called identifier part. Okay. So what is this namespace and what is this identifier? So when here what we are doing is we are doing some HTTP call to a host that is not existing, to a URL that is a malform, that is a bad URL, or is not a valid URL, calling some valid URL. So call it some invalid URL. It's not a valid URL. Okay. While you are calling the invalid URL, you may get an error. So this is kind of HTTP error. So namespace is HTTP. Okay. Getting HTTP kind of error. So namespace means what is the parent, what is which belongs to which category. Namespace is kind of category HTTP error. Under HTTP error, there may be so many errors, so many kind of errors. Why not able to find? Maybe you need to pass username and password. You're not passing username password. That is one kind of error. The URL is correct, but you're not passing username. That is kind of error. And your credentials are not valid. That is kind of error. So there is so many kind of errors there in HTTP. Okay, HTTP category. Inside that, what kind of exact error? So here connectivity. HTTP namespace connectivity is the actual identifier. So your error object looks like this: HTTP connectivity. So if you error handler scope configured to handle HTTP connectivity error, right? So then when error occurs over here, it comes to over here, right? So now if you see this this use case over here, error occurred at while requesting at this point. So it comes over here down. Error occurs over here means it creates an error object. The error object is of kind HTTP connectivity. We see over here. HTTP connectivity is error type. HTTP is an category, connectivity is an error type. Likewise, you're trying to call DB, the database is not responding. Then the category is DB connectivity, DB colon. DB is the namespace. And inside the DB errors, there may be different kinds of error. The exact error inside the DB called as identifier. So if you are doing the file operation, you're writing to some file, that file is not exist. In that case, file is a category, right? So file is the parent. File colon the error, exact error. Are you able to not access that file or not able to edit that file? That is called exact error. So there may be, different categories of errors are there, like file errors, database errors, JMS errors, right? And FTP errors, VM kind of errors, HTTP errors. So for all these are called a category, or in other terms we can call as a namespace. And inside this one for file, maybe you are passing the wrong password, not able to access that file. That is called file access denied. Inside the file, access denied is the identifier in this case. Means you are not passing the valid credential, therefore access got denied. In database also different kinds of error, right? Database connectivity and bad query. So we're trying to execute some query in the database, but your query is not according to the syntax. So what is that error now? Database is a category that is called namespace. Under database category, the bad query, SQL syntax, something that is called identifier. Okay, that is error object. That error object is thrown to the error handler scope. So here in this example, an error object got created over here, and that is thrown to the your error handler, right? Error handler in this case contains only one error handler scope. So what is capability of handling this error handler scope is, click on the error handler scope and go to the properties. See what kind of errors it can able to handle. So here if you see, this error handler scope is, we didn't configure anything because it means that it can handle any kind of error. If you not mention anything means it can handle any kind of error. Okay, if you mention something, it will handle that specific kind of error. For example, see, I click on this error handler block, error handler scope block, and here I need to configure what is the scope is going to handle. If it is handling HTTP errors, then what to do? Go over here. HTTP, CC, HTTP connectivity, and not found. Maybe these two. So click on this one. HTTP connectivity, not HTTP is category. Not found and connectivity are exact errors. So the two errors got created. Now here these two logger and set period got executed because it is earlier it is any means it can be any kind of error. Now if you configure HTTP connectivity, so here HTTP connectivity raise the same it's got handled over here. For example, here what I'm doing is I'm doing a DB select. Database select. Right.
So
Now,
here you have mentioned the type as HTTP and connectivity. So those are both right, namespace error as well as identifier, right?
yeah, error object contains the two parts, namespace part and error object identifier
Okay,
part.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
right. So if you configure DB for DB, in the error hand this code, this error handle scope section, you can find all the DB related errors, DB connectivity, DB bad syntax, DB execution like this. Okay, so if this matches, means whatever error arises and this type matches, this get executed. If type is not matching, this is not getting executed. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I am now doing is now try to understand this stuff. This flow scope error handling, right? Here I will remove this thing and put outside. Yes. So create one error handler. See, now error handler is down over here. This is error handler. Okay. So this error handler contains one error handler scope, right? And in the file there is no error handler now. You see, in the flow there is no error handler. All right. So what I'm doing is I want to refer this error handler in the flow. So click on the error section, then it will ask for the reference. Okay, which error handler you want to refer. Now I have one global error handler.
One.
Right. So here, if you see, error handler reference is error handler 1. It's got referred. Okay. Got it? This is called a this error handler called application scope error handler or global error handler. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now I want to configure this error happening in this component in a specific manner. Maybe in this flow there are several other components are there, but error occurring in this request I want to handle in a specific manner. In that case, what you need to configure is there is something called try scope. Put this in the try scope. If you encapsulate the component in the try scope has its own specific error handler, right? Maybe you have the, logger, or maybe you have the transfer message. You have some other components. Okay. So what's the flow scope error handler? Error occurs in this flow only to be able to handle, right? But error occurring in this component, I want to handle in a special manner apart from other components. Okay. In that case, you need to wrap inside a triscope. Now, if you wrap inside triscope, you may get one more error handling scope over here. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm handling some error over here. Handling means just logging information. Okay. I'm just logging the information. See, now this is called processor scope error handling, right? So for a limited to processor, the scope is limited to processor. If error occurs in this logger or in this transfer message, this error handler scope is not able to manage that error. Okay. But it's only handling the error that is occurring inside the try block. Okay, inside the try block, if error occurs inside try block, that is going to handle over here. Got it. So this is processor scope error handling. Now you understand three scopes of error. This is the global scope or application scope. And if they're inside the flow, that is a flow scope. And for a specific process or specific processors, that's called processor scope. Yeah. Now, how the error is, how error handling is, how is error getting handling means, whenever error occurs, an error object got created. The error object contains two parts. One is the namespace part and identifier part. Each scope is configured to handle some error. So if the error object matches the scope got executed. If error object not matches the scope, other scope got executed. Okay, that is the story. Okay, now any questions so far, Rishikesh or Shashi?
Yeah, so you can refer the error handling to the global error handling thing, no? So can I refer only one, or can you refer multiple global the things?
You can refer only one error handler, Rishikesh.
Okay.
You can refer only one error handler. You can't refer multiple error handlers because when error occurs, we need to execute some activity. So it will configure multiple. It won't. It will confuse, right? Therefore, they're designed to refer only one error handler. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That was only question.
Okay, no problem. Now, this is very, very important fundamental. When error occurs, the error object got created. Error object first check. Yeah.
And it is thrown in the error handler, right?
Yeah, error handler. And is there any scope is handling matching that error? Then that scope got executed. Okay. See here in this case, error continue. I'm not configuring any error over here, error type over here. If you're not configuring any error type means it will going to handle any kind of error.
Okay, here also you can put refer, no, if you want.
Where?
Here inside try also you can put refer to the global thing.
I don't know. One second. No, this is here we can't actually.
Okay, only the flow error.
Flow level only, yeah.
Error handler.
Correct. Okay. Oh. Here, whenever you configure some error handler scope, error handler means the container, it contains error handler scopes, right? So there are two types of scopes are there. One is on error continue, on error propagate. Okay, now we are checking all everything with on error continue. So if you configure on error continue scope over here, means the scope first thinking is we need to configure some error with the scope. Means what kind of error is going to handle. Okay, if you configure any, means is going to handle any kind of error. Maybe database, maybe a file, FTP, HTTP, any kind of error going to handle in that case is called, this any kind of error, no matter any kind, it won't checks. Okay, if you don't configure anything, for suppose, it is also same. Okay,
Okay. If in the try process error handler, if the error handling doesn't handle the thing, does it go to the flow handler or whatever?
yeah, very good question, Ashish. So when the in the try it's not going to handle, then it comes to flow scope, but depends upon some condition. Okay, the condition is whether it is what kind of scope it is, on error continue, on error propagate. The two kinds of scope are there, on error continue scope and on error propagate scope here. Okay, so one sec. Put something over here. So, for example, here error occurs. It checks is this scope is capable to handle that one. No. Then is check this scope is capable to handle that one. No. If both the scope is not capable, then it go to the flow scope error handler. Okay. For example, now first error occurs. Is the scope is capable to handle? No. Go to the on error propagate. Is this scope is capable to handle? Yes. Even it is, it get executed and error is propagated to the flow scope. Okay. So this logger is not getting executed over here. For example, error occurs. The first scope on error continue is capable to handle that error. Then it won't go to second scope. As continue, what happens is this error block got executed and next logger will get executed because it's kind of continuous scope. I will tell you what is difference between the propagate scope and continuous scope as of now. So how the error propagates to try to flow, that depends upon case. If continue is there, there is not propagate to the flow scope. If continue is not there, error is propagate to flow scope. That is the right answer. Right? And if no error handler is capable of handling that error, that is go to the flow scope. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now try to understand what is continue and what is the propagate scope, continuous scope and propagate scope, right? So when error occurs, what's the fundamental is like this. Let me take this one. Okay, this is my flow. These are different components. Okay, and it receives a request, and the request is processing over here in this components. Okay, so when error occurs over here, I want to send back the error response back to client. In that case, I configure on error propagate. Okay, when processing this message, we got an error. I want to send an error response back to my client who invoked this, this request. The client will client application or a postman, something like that. So we want to propagate the error. So then in that case, this is called on error propagate. On error propagate propagates the error back to client. Okay. So something like, you are doing some very, very important operation, important thing. The means you need to insert to database. Some reason the database is down, database is not responding, you are not insert the record to database. So now your flow execution is not successful, right? Because your intention is to try to insert them to database, but the database is not responding, so that your primary intention of this flow got failed. Now, do you think it is successful flow? Do you tell the client, boss, everything got processed successfully? No, right? We need to throw error back to client. In that case, you configure on error propagate. Like a name suggests, it propagates the error back to client who called that one if error occurs. Okay. Now try to understand on error continue. So if there is a flow, and in this flow, the first two operations are very, very important. Means what you need to do is you call some third party, some service, you get response, and that response you need to insert to database. So if these two components are successfully executed, you treat this, this entire flow is successful, right? But sometimes what happens is after this successful execution, maybe one of the component, a logger or something, got failed due to some reason. Okay. But your primary intention is successfully executed. Whatever, primary functionality, the calling to third party service and getting response and inserting that response to database, this activity is successfully executed, but after seeing some non-important activity you are performing, you got an error. Then you don't go back to client saying that this is errored out, because your primary thing is successfully executed, right? So in this case, what I can do is I will configure something called on error continue block. So I hand this error on error continue, and I will send a success response back to client, saying that client, your process, your request is successfully processed. The important activities got executed successfully. Okay. Yeah.